With having 6 kids, it is so important to me to be very intentional with spending quality time with each of them. So any day that I have like errands to run, I let them rotate between the kids. And today is Jaden and Chloe's day. And while we were out, they wanted to stop at Target. So let's go.
A parenting tradition that turns ordinary errands into unforgettable memories, a dream home that began with nothing more than a picnic on an empty piece of land, and a simple family video reminding parents just how quickly childhood slips away. Those are the latest Bates family moments capturing attention online. While Whitney Bates shared a heartfelt glimpse into one of the traditions she and Zach have created for their growing family, Josie Balka looked back at the earliest memory made on the land where her future home now stands, and Lydia Romeike celebrated an emotional milestone by showing just how much can change in a single year. Whitney recently invited followers into a tradition that has quietly become part of everyday life for her family. In a candid update, she explained that whenever she and Zach need to run errands, the children take turns deciding who gets to tag along, creating intentional one-on-one time with each child despite the busy pace of raising 6 kids. This outing featured Chloe and Jaden, turning what could have been an ordinary afternoon into something much more meaningful. Rather than focusing on a destination, Whitney's post highlighted the value of slowing down, giving individual attention, and making everyday routines feel special. The video perfectly reflected that idea. It followed the family through a relaxed day that included shopping, laughing together, trying on funny sunglasses, grabbing lunch, and simply enjoying each other's company. There were no elaborate activities or major announcements, just genuine family moments that felt natural and unplanned. Whitney's narration emphasized that these outings aren't about spending money or doing something extraordinary. They're about making sure every child gets moments where they have their parents' undivided attention, even if it's just during a routine day filled with errands. Followers immediately connected with that message. Many parents praised the tradition as a thoughtful way to make every child feel seen and valued, especially in a larger family where individual time can be difficult to find. Others commented on how excited the children always seem when it's finally their turn, while plenty couldn't get enough of Chloe's contagious laugh and Jaden happily joining in throughout the outing. Instead of discussing shopping or where the family went, the conversation became about parenting, intentional family time, and how meaningful the simplest traditions can become over the years. While Whitney focused on making memories during everyday life, Josie Balka took followers back to the beginning of a much bigger family dream. Continuing her From the Drafts series, she shared a video recorded long before construction crews arrived or foundations were poured. The caption described it as the family's first picnic at the place they would one day call home, inviting followers to look back at a moment that once seemed ordinary, but has taken on an entirely different meaning now that their dream home is becoming reality. The video opened with the words, POV, one day we'll call this home, immediately setting an emotional tone before showing a single frame of the property itself. At that point, the land was nothing more than an open field surrounded by nature. There were no building materials, no heavy equipment, and no visible signs of construction. Instead, Josie, Kelton, and their children spread out a picnic blanket, shared a quiet meal, explored the property together, and imagined what life there might eventually become. Looking back now, the footage feels less like a family picnic and more like the very first chapter of a story that followers are only beginning to see unfold. What made the update especially memorable was how little attention it gave to the house itself. Josie never discussed square footage, design plans, or construction details. Her voiceover reflected on the excitement of standing on a piece of land that existed only as sketches and dreams at the time. Rather than celebrating walls and blueprints, she celebrated the first memory her family created there. It quietly suggested that a home doesn't begin when construction is finished. It begins the moment a family starts imagining a future together. That emotional approach resonated throughout the comments. Followers described the picnic as incredibly sweet, admired the peaceful setting, and said the property looked like the perfect place to raise a family. Others admitted they were surprised Josie had managed to keep the project private for so long, especially now that she's revealing moments from months earlier. Many also noticed how much younger Hazel and Miles looked in the archived footage, making the video feel like a nostalgic time capsule rather than simply another construction update. Instead of asking when the house would be finished, many found themselves appreciating the journey that started long before the building ever did. Lydia Romeike's newest post carried a different kind of emotion, celebrating her daughter's first birthday by looking back at an entire year through one beautifully simple idea. Rather than creating a traditional birthday montage, she built the video around the relationship between her two children, showing how their bond quietly developed month after month. Her caption marked 1 year of loving their little girl, but the story extended far beyond a birthday celebration. The video immediately drew viewers in with the opening text, POV, "You watch your babies slowly growing up." From there, each clip was labeled with a different age, beginning at 1 week and gradually moving through the months until reaching 1 year. Every scene was filmed in nearly the same spot, making the changes even more noticeable. At first, Riker simply looked curiously at his baby sister. As the timeline progressed, those moments evolved into smiles, hugs, playful interactions, and eventually a little girl confidently walking toward her big brother on her own. Without using a single spoken word, Lydia allowed the timeline to tell the entire story. The gentle music, repeated setting, and steady progression of ages created an emotional reminder of how easy it is to miss small changes while living through them, only to realize how dramatically everything has changed when looking back. The video's opening POV invited parents to place themselves in that experience, transforming a personal family memory into something many followers could instantly relate to. The comment section reflected exactly that feeling. Many admitted they became emotional watching the progression from a tiny newborn to an active 1-year-old, while others pointed out how heartwarming it was to watch Riker gradually grow into his role as a protective big brother. Some couldn't believe how quickly the year had passed, while others thanked Lydia for sharing such a simple yet meaningful way of documenting childhood. Rather than focusing on birthday decorations or presents, followers found themselves celebrating the relationship between two siblings and the quiet moments that often become the most treasured memories. Although each update told a different story, they all arrived at the same destination. Whitney showed that meaningful memories can grow out of an ordinary afternoon spent running errands. Josie reminded everyone that a future home often begins with hope long before the first wall is built. Lydia demonstrated that the biggest changes in childhood rarely happen all at once, but through countless little moments that only become obvious when they're viewed together. None of these families needed dramatic announcements or major milestones to capture attention. Sometimes the stories that stay with people the longest are simply the ones that remind us how quickly everyday moments become lifelong memories.